let's dismiss this guy. I'm going to dismiss this guy. And we're going to dismiss this guy. Now what that does is it clears all their orders and it sets them back to default, which is follow me. So follow me, follow me, follow me. And we're going to take a walk. Did you ever want to be able to command AI without having them to be in your group or you having to be in theirs? Well, now you can with this script. Follow player script. I want to start off this video by giving credits to a commenter who made a comment on one of my videos asking for help about a script that he had an idea for that he was trying to put together but couldn't get it to work. So he asked me, I put the scripts together and he tried them out and he really liked it. So the credits go to Liam1ZTY for the idea. Now there are two versions of the script. There is a simple version and then there is an expanded version. We're going to install these scripts, so let's go to the scenario tab at the top and then go down to where it says open scenario folder and install the script. Here we are in the mission folder. I'm going to bring up another folder with the zip file of the scripts in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this zip file and I'm going to paste it into the mission folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link this in the description of the video, and when you get it, just open it, extract the zip, and take all three scripts and put them into your mission folder just like that. You don't need the zip file, and you're going to have three scripts. One of them you're going to choose over the other. You're not going to use both. So here you have an init.sqf. Then you have two versions of the same script. This version is the simple version. This version is the expanded version, EV for expanded version. Now the difference is this script here has two functions in it, and this script here has a lot of functions in it. Now if you wanted to just use this script here, you don't need this script because this script has what this script has. Let's go into the init.sqf. Now this script here basically calls whichever script that you're going to use in your mission. So I have two lines. I have this line for the simple version and I have this line for the expanded version. Currently this version is disabled, as you can see by the two forward slashes. That means it disables the code. Basically this code, what it does is it calls the scripts in your mission. So if you only wanted to use the simple version, then you could either erase this, delete it, remove it because you're not going to use this version, or you just leave this as it is. But if you wanted to use the expanded version, same thing. You could either remove this or undo this and then put two slashes here if you wanted to keep this here like that. And then this will basically be called. Now when there's two forward slashes like this, it disables the code, so the code is not going to be read by the game. But we're going to start with the simple version, and I'm going to put two forward slashes because I want to show you both scripts. And let's close this and go into the simple version script. So here's the simple version script. Now this script will allow you to have AI follow you without them needing to be in your group or you a part of their group. Every 2 seconds the units move toward your current position. When you're within 6 meters of the unit, you will see either action in your action menu. Wait here and follow me. The unit will automatically follow you, and when you turn to look at them to tell them to wait, they will hold position. Works for any AI soldier or civilian. Now the setup for this is very simple. All you need to do is give a unit a variable name and then define that name in the unit's array below. So this right here is the unit's array. I already set up a unit. We're going to go back into the mission and we're going to place a unit and name it unit 1, and then we're going to test it. We're going to place a rifleman, and we're going to just place him right about here, make him face this direction, and then we're going to edit him and we're going to give him the variable name that we have defined in the script. So it's unit 1, and just hit OK, and that's it. So now we could just save it and test the mission. Alright, so what's going to happen is he's automatically going to follow you until you tell him to wait. Every 2 seconds, he gets the coordinates of your position, and in 2 seconds, he will move to you. So you can basically move, and he's going to follow you. And once you stop, he's going to keep following you. Now, if you wanted him to stay in one position, then what you do, as you can see on him, it says wait here. In the in your action menu, it says wait here. You just tell him to wait, and he'll wait. That's it. So in replace of wait, you get follow me, and he'll basically follow you again. So he's not going to follow you now. So let's have him follow me, and he's going to follow me. Now, before I got this working, I had something, I mean, it did work. It did exactly what it's doing now. But the thing was, every time I wanted to tell him to wait, he would update his position. Like right now, I'm looking at him move on me and go behind me, and I'm sitting there chasing him and stuff. So I had to fix that because that was annoying as hell. So I fixed that, and now it's pretty good. So he's going to follow me. Alright, so that's the simple version, and let's add 2 more units and see what it's like with multiple units that you can command. Let's add an auto rifleman. Place him right here, face him this way, and then we're going to add a grenadier. I'm going to place him right here, make him face this way. What we need to do now is we're going to edit these guys. We're going to give each one of them a variable name. This guy, we're going to give him a variable name of unit 2. And this guy, I'm going to give him a variable name of unit 3. We'll save that, and we have to go back into the scenario folder and define those names in the script itself. Under the units array, we go right here, and to add another unit, to define another unit, all you're going to do is place a comma, you're going to put a quote, and then you're going to put the name of unit that you have named. Then you're going to put an end quote, another comma, a quote again, and then you're going to put the third name, unit 3. And then you're going to end it with a quote, no comma after that. So the only time you need a comma is when you're separating different class names or names. So if you wanted another name after that, you just put a comma, a quote, you put the name, whatever it's going to be, and end quote, just like that. Alright, that's all you need to do, and we'll just save that. Let's go back in the mission and let's test it out with 3 units. Alright, so now all these guys should be following you. Alright, if you wanted to tell one guy to wait, the other guys are still going to follow you. Like you could set this up to where you tell a guy to wait and he's just going to be like a sentry or just guard a spot. So I'm going to tell him to wait here, and this guy will come. We'll just have this guy wait here. There you go. Now if I wanted this guy to follow me, he's going to follow me now. And if I wanted this guy to follow me, he's going to follow. And same for this guy. Back in the mission folder, so what we need to do first is go into the init and disable the simple version first. Enable the expanded version, and we'll save that. We'll close this, And now let's take a look at the follow player expanded version. Alright, this expanded version, alright, so this is similar to what the other version is, but this script will allow you to have AI follow you without them needing to be in your group or you a part of theirs. Every few seconds, the unit updates its position to move towards you. When you are within 6 meters of the unit, commands will show in your action menu. You can tell them to follow, wait, move somewhere, change stance, behavior, speed, board a vehicle, or drive vehicles. Here is a list of all the action commands. You can tell them to follow, move, return to me, stance, behavior, speed, fire control, formations, vehicle control, and you can also dismiss them. How to set up? It's set up the same way. We're going to set this up with just one unit for now. So let's go back into the mission and test it out. In this version of the script, they are not going to automatically follow you. You will have to go up to them and tell him to follow you. Now, as you can see, we don't have these guys defined in the script, so nothing's going to happen, but I have this guy. So if you scroll your action menu, you're actually going to get a list of commands. So you could see all the stuff that you could do. So let's tell him to follow me. And just like the other script, he's basically going to follow you. As I was saying before, the first iteration of the script, when I tried to tell him to wait, he would update his position again and then move. And now I was like, that is so annoying. I gotta fix this. So the code is set so where when you see a command or an order in your action menu, he won't move. So right now, if you see the commands on him to wait or whatever, he's not going to move. He's going to freeze. He's going to hold position. But if you don't see those commands and the commands disappear, then he's going to move to you. That's how it activates and deactivates the code to keep him on, with you. So let's actually give him some orders. So order move there on the map. So the first order is move there map. So when you do that, the map is automatically going to open and you can tell him where to go on the map. So we're going to tell him to go right here, and he's basically just going to go run over there. Now you might be wondering, okay, what good is that? Now I can't see. If I scroll my action menu, nothing happens. What good is that if I tell him to go over there and then I got to go run back and go get him? Oh, it's up to you. I mean, I could update it again to have him, come back. If I say order return to me, he's basically going to follow me again. So let's give him some other orders, like let's tell him to form a line. So he's going to form a line. It's not a line, buddy. All right. Let's tell him to form a column. All right, let's give him some other orders. Let's tell him to crouch. And let's tell him to go prone. And let's tell him to stand. Let's go back into the editor. We're going to name these two guys, and we're going to place a vehicle, and then we're going to go back into the script and then add the two names to the script. We're going to name these two guys unit 2, unit 3. And then we're going to add a vehicle. I'll show you what they could do with vehicles. So just go to cars. We'll place a hunter. Right here is fine. And let's go back into the script. I'm just going to define their names in the script real quick. All right, I'm back, and these units are named, so we're going to save that and let's play it. All right, so now these guys have the functions where they can follow me. And we're just going to tell him to wait over here. Remember, if you want him to move, then make sure you don't see the words anymore. As soon as the words disappear, then he'll update his position. Alright, he's going to wait. We're going to tell him to come over here. And he's going to wait here. And let's tell this guy, first you got to tell him to follow you, and then give him the order to go into a vehicle and get in as driver. Now if you have multiple vehicles, he's going to pick the nearest one, so just pay attention to that. And so he's in the driver's seat. You could tell him to disembark. You can tell him to drive to a certain location and stop the vehicle. So let's actually get in with him so we can keep commanding him. And we're going to tell him to go up the road. And he'll stop. Alright, so let's tell him to go back. Good there. Alright, good job. Alright, disembark. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend telling him to get into a vehicle and drive somewhere without you being in it, because you're going to have to go chase him to get him back. Let's tell these guys to do a formation. So they're all going to follow me. And basically you have to tell them to do a formation, a line formation, and line formation. Alright, so you get away from them, so it deactivates the code, and then they will form a line. Somewhat. Now, because they're individual, they're going to basically form a line based on your position. It's not like when they're actually part of your group where they're all synchronized. It's not like that, because you're commanding each individual guy, and he's going to go in a line based on, you know, your position. So it's not going to be exact like as if they were in your group. So just, you know, keep that in mind. Let's dismiss this guy. I'm going to dismiss this guy. And we're going to dismiss this guy. Now what that does is it clears all their orders, and it sets them back to default, which is follow me. So follow me, follow me, follow me. And we're going to take a walk. And they're all going to follow me. And what we're going to do is we're going to tell them to get into the vehicle. I'm going to be a passenger. And let's see. Let's tell him to be the driver. So he's going to go be the driver. Don't get in his way. Alright. And then we're going to tell this guy to get into the vehicle. It's in the cargo somewhere. Alright. And we're going to do the same for this guy. And we're going to get in ourselves. And now we're going to tell this guy to drive somewhere. So let's go up the road first. Let's tell him to, let's see, Jack Walker is the driver. Let's tell these guys to disembark. And we'll get out ourselves. Eventually he'll turn off the vehicle. Then these other guys are going to follow me. Let's tell these guys if they get in the vehicle. Alright, Jack, let's take us back to where we started. That's fine. Driving is pretty accurate, pretty direct. Alright. Alright, let's tell him to disembark. Everybody's out of the vehicle. And they're going to come to your position. How about that? Now, as you can see, it's not as accurate or specific as it would be if they were in your group, because you can pinpoint, use your cursor and pinpoint exactly where you want them to be. I want to thank you guys for watching, and for more codes and scripts, take a look at this playlist.